Our trip to Disney World with our 1-year-old was super fun, but we definitely learned a lot.
Never thought it would happen to me.
I've never seen this place in my life. Not an environment to decompress. And in this video, I'm here to share how that experience went, what we learned, what went well, what did not go well, and how I would or will do things differently in the future. We took a flight from Minneapolis to Orlando.
And we're off to Disney World at the Mall of America Park and Fly.
And then once in Orlando, we took Mears Connect from the airport to our resort All-Star Movies at Disney World. We're on the Mears Connect bus. We're on our way to All-Star Movies. The Mears Connect shuttle is usually a large bus, which you don't need a car seat for. For the trip home, however, they sent a shuttle van to our hotel. I think it fit maybe 11 people in it, instead of a bus, which is much smaller. We called Mears, and the representative that we talked to said that a car seat was not needed on a shuttle van. We personally did not feel very comfortable traveling in the van without the car seat. They had limited car seats available on the Mears shuttle van. However, the one car seat that they had was already in use. So in the future, if we were to take Mears Connect again, I would definitely call ahead of time and make sure that we're getting a bus both the way there and the way back, or I might just fork out the extra money for the private car transfer to take us from the airport to our Disney World resort, just to guarantee that there's going to be a car seat there. Or maybe I will just pack a car seat, because you can check a car seat for free with most airlines. I just didn't want to have to deal with one extra thing. But for Disney World, just being in one location for the whole trip is maybe not as big of a deal to like lug a car seat around, versus if we were going somewhere where we'd be moving from hotel to hotel. Our room is in the Toy Soldier building. It's right there on the end. Or maybe the stars and planets align and Disney Magical Express comes back. Maybe that could be an option one day. I decided to baby wear while traveling to, from, and through the airport. I used the Ergo Baby Omni 360. I don't really baby wear my daughter much anymore, but this was a scenario where it was really helpful just to have an extra hand free while we navigated the light rail and the airport with the extra luggage we were carrying. During the flight, my strategy was, if she wasn't asleep, it was a steady stream of toys and snacks. Liquid limits for TSA do not apply to food and liquids for your toddler or your baby. So you can bring whatever food, pouches, applesauce, milk, etc. that you need for your baby onto the flight. I brought some toys that both our daughter has used before and some new ones that she had never seen before. Every activity maybe only lasts like for 10-minute increments. We were at Disney World for 6 days total, and we actually chose to skip Hollywood Studios and spend 2 days each in the other 3 theme parks. That's Animal Kingdom, Epcot, and Magic Kingdom. We decided this because based on our experience going there when I was pregnant, there's really not a lot of attractions in Hollywood Studios that we could do as a family. There are shows. I'm sure we could have spent a full day with a 1-year-old at Hollywood Studios. I guess the real answer is that Hollywood Studios is actually my least favorite park anyway, and Tony and I both enjoy rides a lot, and we wanted to go on rides with our daughter, and they really don't have a lot of rides for a 1-year-old. I think there's only 2, maybe. And in Magic Kingdom and Epcot especially, there was so much that she could do with us. And I was really glad that we actually spent 2 days in each of the other parks, because you don't get as much done with a 1-year-old. And the next thing we learned was every opportunity that you can let your 1-year-old run or walk on their own.
I can do it myself.
Before having a child, I did not give 2 hoots about playgrounds. They might as well have been invisible to me, but now they are vital spaces, especially if there's stuff for like little kids to do, because not every playground has stuff for a 1-year-old to do. Anyway, at Disney World, I felt like there's actually not a lot of places for your 1-year-old to safely walk around freely, and that's because it's just so crowded. There's tons of strollers, and people just they're not standing around, they're moving in the current trying to get where they're going. But some of the parks do have play areas for little kids. Magic Kingdom has a splash pad in that circus area, and Adventureland has a little area that's like splash pad adjacent, where the tiki, it's just like a little area is what I mean. That's kind of like a splash pad, but the tiki totems squirt water. And Epcot has a play area near Journey into Imagination with stuff for a lot of ages. We're at this play area in Epcot, and this is one of those places where I feel like before Tony and I had kids, I've never seen this place in my life. I never would have clocked this area. But now that we have a 1-year-old, it's like you see a play area and you're just like, stop everything. Here's an area where she can kind of run around and have some fun, and it's like just an invaluable real estate. And I would also say journeying to Moana is a really, really great place for a 1-year-old. Our daughter loved playing with all of the different water features there. But we had to consciously let ourselves slow down and allow our 1-year-old to set the tone or set the pace for the trip. You want to touch the rock? Yes, the rock art is very impressive here at Animal Kingdom, isn't it?
Seeing rock work like you'll never see anywhere else.
Yeah. Giving her time to get her yayas out for napping, for snacks, for breaks, because we wanted her to have fun on this trip too. We didn't want to push her too far. And this is so different for us because we are people who like to get to the parks early. We like to zoom from one area to the other area. We like to get on as many rides as we can, line permitting. We just had a whirlwind adventure in Fantasyland, banged out Philhar Magic, Ariel's Journey Under the Sea, and Peter Pan's Flight. I don't think we need to do Peter Pan's Flight with our 1-year-old again. She was mostly confused and scared the whole time. But now we are in Adventureland. We have 3 minutes until our reservation at the Beak in the Barrel. And following our 1-year-old's pace definitely took some time for us to get used to. And I knew this ahead of time, but I think knowing that you have to drastically slow down your travel and pace with a baby or a toddler and actually experiencing it is very different.
It's about 10:30 and we are not yet in the park. Never thought it would happen to me.
Recognize us anymore. It is noon and we have just entered the parks. Our daughter is asleep already. It is 11 a.m. What do we do? Our day in Magic Kingdom is done. We ended it on Pirates of the Caribbean, who was kind of looking a little droopy on Pirates of the Caribbean.
I think she fell asleep at the end.
Yeah, so we decided we don't want to push it, so we're heading home to All-Star Movies.
Tough crowd, yeah.
But it's not a bad thing and it's not a reason not to go places with your child, and I don't believe that not going at the pace you're used to traveling at or not doing as much as one possibly can in a day makes your experience less valuable or even makes it less fun. It's just different. I think it wasn't until day 3 that our daughter seemed to shake off that travel exhaustion and get used to the experience of seeing new things and being around all of that stimulation. So for future big trips, I think I will avoid too much activity or planning for the first 2 days just for her to get acclimated to the whole experience. And that actually might be nice for me and Tony too, especially if it's a trip where jet lag is involved and we will probably be tired after traveling. The next lesson we learned was don't do the character meet and greets right before a nap. And we're gonna go try and meet some of Mickey's friends, and Mickey also.
I believe the official name is Meet Beloved. It's got Beloved in the official name. Liz will put it up.
This was a big mistake for us. We'd gotten to Epcot late. We wanted our daughter to meet Mickey Mouse, and it ended up being around 1 p.m., which is prime nap time for her when we got in line to meet Mickey Mouse. She cried the entire time we met Mickey Mouse, Minnie, and Pluto. It was traumatic for all of those meet and greets. But, now we have a fun picture to include in her graduation slideshow in 17 years, so silver lining. I think we have pinpointed the cause of our experience with Mickey and his beloved friends. Let's talk about how nap time went for us. We are very lucky in that our daughter naps beautifully in the stroller. So she'd fall asleep for 1 to 2 hours during that time, and Tony and I, our strategy was generally just to get a drink and stroll around the park, or when it was very hot at Magic Kingdom, we stayed in that old Tortuga Tavern seating area where there is a little air circulation. We could have split up and done some of the rides we couldn't do with her, but it was nice just to chill out and chat with each other during that nap time. That was kind of just our us time.
What's up, guys? We're at the America Pavilion.
She's napping.
Grabbing a beer while our baby's asleep. Classic.
We grabbed the Dragon Blossom beer. It's like a Pilsner from the China Pavilion. We strolled around and enjoyed that.
Checking out the China Pavilion. Nice little Disney Shanghai exhibit, which is fun because we like theme parks. We're at one.
All right, here we've got the backstory, Tony. It's official. Minnie Mouse sewed a special stuffed bear to keep Sailor Mickey company on his long ocean voyages. And she's still sleeping, so we grabbed a Yingling from the American Pavilion because it's the 250th anniversary of the United States. Tony's fit check. It is like 90% thrifted.
Yeah, I mean everything but the shoes. Happy birthday.
Your socks?
Okay,
Your
and the socks and the underwear.
Okay, yeah.
And the backpack.
She presented him to Mickey in a duffel bag, and so he was named Duffy.
An amber lager tastes good. I mean, we were slinging Yinglings yesterday. It was really hitting the spot.
That's not true. We weren't slinging. We just had one. We just had one. I guess I'm like one too many beers in after one beer. United States
in 1 month
of America.
from now. Well, of the Declaration of Independence. Because the United States of America, as we form it, wasn't formed until 1789. You know, before that we had the Articles of Confederacy. But it just wasn't the United States of America as we know it until like
right, let's get
13
all
years
pedantic
later.
about
I think
it.
it's
Let's
interesting,
let's-
that's all. I found this polo, and it's kind of like it's kind of got that 90s green thing going on. I wasn't like for sure going for that, but it's like a summery color.
Yeah.
And like here at Disney, I feel like I'm evoking 90s dad kind of right now.
During his travels with Mickey, Duffy made many friends who encouraged him to try new things. Shy, innocent, and deeply caring, Duffy values his friends and their happiness above all. Yeah, we went to the Zootopia show because we thought that before her nap it might be a nice time to just give her like 10 minutes of indoor air conditioning. Decompress is not an environment to decompress. It was loud, it was aggressive, it was chaotic. The water effect where it squirts water in your face from the seat in front of you, like your face of...
Yeah, the velocity of the what was that?
You know, you go like...
Yeah.
Here's my next lesson. The Columbia Harbor House is no longer a guaranteed quiet area at any given time. Every podcast episode, YouTube video, blog post that I read about quiet areas, quiet spaces in Walt Disney World mentions the second floor of Columbia Harbor House. And in the past, this has been true. There have always been empty tables when Tony and I go upstairs in Columbia Harbor House. But this time, it took until like 2:30 or 3 p.m. for the place to clear out. And then there was lots of tables. But before that, I checked twice during like from noon until 3, and there were no free tables at all. It was very busy. Also, perhaps Disney is just so committed to theming, but there's no elevator in Columbia Harbor House. And so if you have a stroller, you either have to carry it upstairs or you have to leave it in stroller parking somewhere outside of the restaurant. I felt like I was going back in time in the bathroom. It was like every person was in their colonial, was like a worker in their colonial garb. Yeah. We just had a delicious meal of salmon and rice,
Yes.
and other East Coast delights.
Fair.
And now we're on our way to PhilharMagic, right?
I think, although Pirates is only a 20-minute wait.
No, PhilharMagic. Okay.
You're right. I forget my place.
And actually, I think the internet needs to all band together and talk about Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe the way they talk about Columbia Harbor House as the new spot in Magic Kingdom to relax and decompress until it's so popular that it's no longer relaxing and it's always crowded. Because Sonny Eclipse is just so weird and I love him, but there is no way his days are not numbered. So I just think we all need to come together, use our powers for good, and protect Sonny. We had our first lightning lane, which was Dumbo, and it was also our daughter's first ride. And now we grabbed a tiger tail and a cold brew from the Cheshire Cafe, and we hopped on over to the Starlight Cafe to eat them to watch Sonny Eclipse in concert.
He's doing his residency again.
Yeah.
He's back. He was on tour last time we were here, but it appears his residency has returned. We're happy to see it.
Hailing taxi cabs. Everybody's a comedian in this town. Hey, take me down to Uptown. I want to see that big green lady out there in the harbor. My mom!
We wish him nothing but the best.
Nothing but the best.
Him and his space angels. A note about the fridges at Disney World resorts. They are not fridges, they are beverage coolers. They will not keep your food at a safe temperature. So we ended up going to the food court often at All-Star Movies for breakfast and dinner. And so we grossly underestimated our food budget for our daughter because we couldn't keep perishables in our room fridge. We should have had just a good cooler stocked with ice the whole time, but we didn't. All right, let's talk about the stroller. There was a short time where travel strollers were the only thing occupying my brain in my spare time. Ultimately, I decided to go with the GB Pocket Plus All City. I just couldn't justify the price of some of the other really well-regarded travel strollers when we have a perfectly nice everyday stroller at home. Some people online have said that the GB Pocket Plus is flimsy. I don't think that's true, at least not for us. Maybe the All City is a little more sturdy than the All Terrain model, but I've had no issues with it at all. I did have a few add-ons so that we could store more stuff in the travel stroller. I had a cup holder that hung off the handlebars that had more storage pockets in it, plus an extra cup holder that we could easily clip on and off of the side of the stroller. And I also added a bumper bar that was compatible with the stroller because my daughter likes to sit with her leg propped up on the bumper bar of our stroller at home. She did not prop her leg up one time on the bumper bar on this trip, but it was still nice for attaching her sippy cup and her toys from, so it wasn't a total bust. One thing with the bumper bar add-on with this particular stroller is we could not collapse it completely with the bumper bar attached to it. So we could fold it for on and off the bus, but we couldn't turn the wheels inward and clasp it for the full fold, which is fine, but I think in the future I'm going to forego the bumper bar just because that will not be convenient for us at all to not be able to fold it completely. I debated taking our regular stroller. There's really no reason that we couldn't have. I just felt like the travel stroller was much easier to navigate crowds and doorways and easier to collapse and much lighter overall. So I'm definitely happy that I took the travel stroller over our regular stroller at home. There is also stroller rental in the theme parks. I don't really know the pros and cons of these strollers, but I could see if you're not someone who's going to use a travel stroller all that often that this might make more financial sense for you. Also, I did buy a travel bag for the stroller. I bought it for checking the stroller. I didn't buy the official GB Pocket Plus travel stroller bag, but one that was compatible with it that had backpack straps. And this was very helpful for navigating the airport, especially just to have another hand that was free. Okay, now I want to talk about some specific products, some specific things that I brought along and whether or not I found them helpful, whether we used them, didn't use them, and just what I thought about that. And we'll start with sippy cup straps, which I try not to go anywhere without. These were great not just for holding on to our daughter's sippy cups, but also toys. We could just attach it somewhere on the stroller, usually the bumper bar, and not worry about her throwing things out of her stroller all of the time. And then she always had access to water. And I brought a travel pack of Clorox wipes for quick service tables that had obviously not been cleaned yet. I always bring these to Disney World. I'm thinking specifically about the bakery in the Norwegian pavilion with school bread, which I always like to get, but that place never ever has clean tables. I brought disposable placemats to put on the table for our daughter to eat off of. I really liked having these. It also made cleanup a lot easier. I would just put all the random trash on after our meal and wrap it up and throw it away. However, I'm not going to recommend the ones that I bought because on some surfaces, the adhesive on the back would leave some residue on the table. And this never happened at Disney World. Maybe their tables are just like very industrial there. But when I've used the disposable placemats in other places outside of Disney World, this has happened a few times. So I mixed on whether or not I'm ever going to even use these again. So we'll see. I packed a travel bottle brush and dry rack. It kind of like folds in on itself. And I also brought some dish soap in a little travel size refillable bottle. I used this to clean out sippy cups and reusable straws in the hotel room. All right, now a couple things related to the Florida weather, which is hot and sometimes rainy. When we were there, it did not rain at all. I brought a rain cover for the stroller that I brought into the park every single day, and I did not use it once, but you know that if I did not have it along, that it would have for sure downpoured when we were there. That is just logic.
I think there's gators in there.
It's wet, ain't it? But it was hot, it was sunny, so there were a couple things that we brought for that. I bought the Solar Buddy sunscreen applicator for this trip, and I have mixed feelings about it. I don't know if it's actually more convenient than just having a tube of sunscreen. I see the appeal where you don't get sunscreen all over your hands, but I don't know if it's the worst thing in the world either to have extra sunscreen on your hands. And Tony is really not a fan of the Solar Buddies. He just does not think it applies sunscreen thick enough at all. So I don't know. I mixed on whether this makes sense or not to have. Maybe if your child just prefers it over a regular tube of sunscreen, it might be worth it because like any way that you can apply sunscreen is better than nothing at all. We also brought a stroller fan that also sprays mist. So a stroller fan has these bendy legs at the end where you can bend them to attach the fan anywhere, but then there's also a little part of it where you can add water and then the fan will spray mist. And a couple people made comments at Walt Disney World about how genius this was, and it is. It's really nice to have. It was quite hot a few of the days, like in the mid-90s and very humid, so it was just very nice to have this. Our daughter is obsessed with it though, so like she loves to play with it, so sometimes we have to hide it until she falls asleep and then attach it to the stroller. I also brought a sling carrier, which would have been great if I remembered to bring it into the park each day. I brought this along and I kept forgetting to bring it. It would have been really handy because by the end of the day, my daughter was very much over the stroller and tired and just wanted to either run or be carried. I remember one day carrying her all the way across Epcot at the end of the day and just being like, wow, this girl is getting heavy. And the sling carrier is far less bulky than the Ergo Baby front carrier, so it didn't really take very much space in the stroller or diaper bag, and it's more convenient for the times when you are picking up your child and then putting them down and then picking them up and then putting them down and so forth. It just takes the edge off and feels less hard on your back and your hips to have the sling. And just a quick note on a couple of packing strategies that I implemented on this trip. I used plastic Ziploc bags to pack for this trip, which I don't usually do. I have packing cubes, which I normally use, but I wanted to be able to see everything I had, and I also just didn't have enough packing cubes for everything that I wanted to separate. For example, before the trip, I divvied up diapers for each day into its own separate Ziploc and outfits for each day into their own separate Ziploc so that I could quickly find things and streamline getting out the door in the mornings. And this worked out really great, except the one big con is that Ziploc bags are very noisy if you are trying to get ready in a hotel room where your child is still sleeping and you don't want them to wake up. And I should have remembered this from our hiking trips in Europe when you're in a hostel trying to sleep and like one person is up at 4:59 a.m. going through their plastic bags. And somehow it sounds like the more quiet they try to be, the louder that it is. So any packing organization tips that you guys have that are more convenient and less noisy than Ziploc bags, please share. I am all ears. I would love to know tips about packing with a toddler for travel. All right, and I do want to touch on Lightning Lane, what we decided to do with Lightning Lane with a 1-year-old. And for reference, just if you don't know what the Lightning Lane is, Lightning Lane at Disney World is the Skip the Line pass that you can purchase at Disney World. There's 3 different options. Lightning Lane single pass, where you can purchase a Lightning Lane for one single ride that you can use once. This is for the most popular rides where the standby lines will be the longest. Then there is Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, where you can choose up to 3 rides at a time. This excludes the most popular rides that you would need the single pass for. And this is subject to availability. Well, they all are subject to availability, but Lightning Lanes for rides can sell out or randomly become available as people change their plans throughout the day. So it requires you to be on your phone a lot more than the other options throughout the day if you want the most bang for your buck for the Lightning Lane Multi-Pass. And then there is Lightning Lane Premier Pass, which you pay quite a bit more for, but you have access to each ride one time whenever you want throughout the day. So there's no need to schedule a Lightning Lane or be on your phone during the day. You can just enter the Lightning Lane queue whenever you feel like it. And I don't know if this option includes the Lightning Lane single pass rides or not. We decided to only purchase Lightning Lane Multi-Pass on our Magic Kingdom days. We didn't feel there were enough rides that warranted Lightning Lane in the other parks to make the expense worth it. And I thought this went well. I think the longest we waited in a standby line with our daughter was Frozen Ever After in Epcot. When we hopped in line, it said it would be a 45-minute wait, but I think it ended up being more like 60 or 65 minutes. And we just tried to distract her and keep her busy with toys and snacks, and it wasn't painful because we were prepared for it. But I am glad that that was our only time waiting in line for an hour with her. Am I glad we got Lightning Lane Multi-Pass for our Magic Kingdom days? I think so. I honestly don't know what it would have been like without it. It really depends on what time of year you're going, because we were there in the early summer. It was busy, but it wasn't as busy as it could have been. If we had gone around Christmas or Thanksgiving, I believe that Walt Disney World gets very, very busy during those times where you would maybe want Lightning Lane for all of the parks each day that you're there. For us, I feel pretty good about our decision to only get Lightning Lane on our Magic Kingdom days. And I am glad we didn't buy any single pass Lightning Lanes, because when we asked about rider swap for the ride Flight of Passage in Animal Kingdom, the cast members just gave us both Lightning Lanes to use one after the other. Tony and I are doing rider swap now. and we asked a cast member. They just gave each of us lightning lane. So that's the version of rider swap, I guess. Is this how child swap is done now? I don't know, but that's what happened for us. And now just a little lightning round of the rides that I felt like my daughter particularly enjoyed or was engaged with at Disney World. She really liked It's a Small World. I know some people think that the song is annoying. I don't think it's annoying personally, and I think the ride is very cute. It has so many like physical dolls and physical sets, and every room is just so elaborate. There's so much to look at, so many colors. Our daughter just like was very, very engaged with this ride. PhilharMagic, despite the fact that she really did not get the 3D glasses, like she would not keep them on her head. This is my first time being at PhilharMagic, but she was really engaged with the songs, and especially Part of Your World, which she has never heard before. We don't really let our daughter watch TV or movies, so she's never seen The Little Mermaid. But when Ariel comes on and sings Part of Your World, she was just very, very entranced by it. Dumbo, a classic. She loved Dumbo. I think all of those kiddie rides where you're out in the open are just real hits with a 1-year-old, but Dumbo especially, I actually wish that we had gone on it one more time because she really liked it a lot. Another attraction she really liked was the Journey Through Water with Moana. It's just such a cute walkthrough experience, and she had so much fun playing with the water. She loved the aquarium in Epcot as well. She loves aquariums, loves looking at fish, so she had a lot of fun there. And the Little Mermaid ride, again, there's just like a lot of color, a lot of physical little animatronics, really fun songs. In Animal Kingdom, she loved looking at all of the animals throughout the parks, not just in the walkthrough, but also there's tons of animals at the beginning of the parks around the tree on Discovery Island. She really liked looking at them.
Looking at real birds, not Donald and Daisy, who apparently are S-C-A-R-Y.
And also the mini adventures of Winnie the Pooh in Magic Kingdom. She does really like Winnie the Pooh. She has a Winnie the Pooh stuffy and a Winnie the Pooh book, and so she was familiar with Winnie the Pooh, but that's probably why she liked it so much, but I do think it's a really cute ride. She also seemed to really enjoy the Enchanted Tiki Room, and who can blame her? It's fun music, fun birds, fun singing flowers. In general, I think the new Fantasyland area of Magic Kingdom is so beautiful and fun to be in. There's Gaston's Tavern. I think this area is really cute.
It's very cute.
But Enchanted Tales with Belle is cuter than I'd ever imagined. It was my first time doing this attraction, and it's like an interactive, intimate show where at the end the kids get to meet Belle. The set is beautiful. The mirror to door effect where you are transported from Belle's cottage to the Beast's castle is truly so cool and magical. Tony and I just raved about this experience afterwards. It was so charming. Our daughter was 16 months old when we went to Walt Disney World, and she's now 18 months old as I am creating and editing this video, and I feel like so much has already changed about her. So I do hope that everything in this video is helpful if you are planning a trip with a 1-year-old, no matter the age. But I would be really interested to hear from anyone who has been to Disney World with someone at any point during that 1-year-old year, and if there was anything that was different to anything that I've mentioned in this video. And if you did like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and maybe you want to subscribe to the channel. I share videos about traveling and running and just general things that I think are fun. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you are well, and I will see you next time. Bye.